Back in Rome, everyone, I'm Father Reed. Ciao, everyone. Here we are outside the ancient walls of the city of Rome at the Basilica of St. Paul, fuori le mura, that is, outside the walls. This is one of the 5 major basilicas of Rome. You see, around the year 65, the Apostle Paul was sentenced to death, and because he was a Roman himself, he was taken outside the walls of Rome to be executed. He was beheaded, and he was buried. After his burial here, early Christians erected a shrine over the grave, and pilgrims would frequently visit that site to honor the great apostle to the Gentiles and the author of more than half of the New Testament. Now, like the Vatican, the first church on this site was built by the Emperor Constantine and consecrated in the year 324. In 386, Emperor Theodosius demolished that original church and began the construction of a much larger basilica. Pope Martin V entrusted that basilica to the Benedictine monks of the Congregation of Monte Cassino. The graceful cloisters of that monastery over here were erected between 1220 and 1241. Now, jumping ahead, in 1823, a great fire was started through the negligence of a workman who was repairing lead on the roof, and the entire ancient basilica was destroyed. Alone of all the churches in Rome, it had been preserved in its primitive character for over 1,400 years. However, people from all over the world contributed to its restoration. All that really remains of the medieval basilica is the 13th century apt mosaic created by a Venetian artist. The basilica is the home of a long series of medallions which to this day depict all of the popes throughout history. There is a legend that when the empty spaces for the medallions run out, the world will end. Well, there are, I believe, 14 left, so we should be okay for a while. It's also important to note that in this basilica, every year on the feast of the conversion of St. Paul, January 25th, the week of prayer for Christian unity solemnly begins here. As we pass through this vast neoclassical portico in front of the basilica, one cannot miss the imposing statue of the great apostle Paul. St. Paul is recognized by the sword, a symbol of the martyrdom he suffered in this place, and of course the book, which reminds us of his inspired letters, which make up 1/3 of the Bible. The Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls. For now, ciao amici, ci vediamo presto.